going on, everyone? I am humbled today to have Alex Cooper from WP Eagle joining today. Hopefully, technology is going to work with us, and I will be able to bring Alex on right now. And I think I can get you on a bigger screen here. Boom. Alex, I
Am
think
I
you
on?
are live. Yeah, I think so. How are you today?
I'm good. Let's say, I hope everyone likes the new mood lighting. I'm just sitting in a darker room. It's nice and peaceful. But yeah, Doug, thanks for inviting me on. Looking forward to the stream this evening. I see there's already some regulars in the chat.
Oh yeah. Let's say hello. We got Helen and Mark and other Mark. We got Blows, Steve, Phil, and thanks everyone for hopping on. Let us know if the audio is working. Of course, Justin, Hasta La Vista Boss, Biozi, and other Justin. Bonnie's on. What's up, Bonnie? I'm gonna send you an email soon. So, for people that don't know you, Alex, can you just give a quick intro? I have a feeling a lot of people do know you, but who are you? What do you do? What are you about?
Okay, my name's Alex, as you already said. I've got a YouTube channel. It's called WP Eagle. I'm wearing the merch tonight. Yeah, and on my channel, it's originally started as a WordPress channel, kind of tutorials on how to make WordPress sites, use plugins, themes, all that kind of good stuff. But then over time, it's evolved because I made a tutorial on how to make an affiliate marketing website a good few years back, and it kind of exploded my channel. So since then, I've been making a lot more affiliate marketing content using WordPress as the platform. And most recently, I've been sharing some case studies where I've been building complete sites, full tutorial videos on how to build a site, and then I've been kind of following up with videos on how they've been doing, how much traffic they get, how much money they make, and all the work and stuff that I've been doing on them. So yeah, that's me.
Right on. When you were getting started on YouTube, well, it was before I was on YouTube, but the common wisdom was people are not going to watch more than 2 or 3 minutes. You need to have short videos, but you completely broke that and you are popular for your multi-hour tutorials. So are they still doing well? What made you think that was going to work when everyone would say that's bananas?
Yeah, I just think people, I think they were used to paying for that kind of information, and I mean, yeah, I thought it was crazy as well because it is a lot of information and the videos are very long, and but I personally, I don't think I'd be able to watch one. I don't know if I've got the patience for it, but a lot of people do, and I look at the analytics, and maybe only 4 or 5% of people get all the way to the end of a 2 hour or 3 hour video, but yeah, people watch them and people love them. I do try and make it a bit easier, adding timestamps, that kind of thing, to make it easier to navigate through the video. But yeah, they're really popular, and I get a lot of messages still from people that watch some of the old videos, which is a bit of a shame, really, because they're a bit out of date. But yeah, people are still watching them, people are still building sites, and still following them along, and it's really good.
Very cool. I don't think I could watch any of my long videos either. Do you go back and watch some of your early ones just to see like what you
I
used
only
to look
do
like?
a little bit. I cringe. I actually did a video just the other week because I've just launched memberships on my channel, which we were talking about, and I did a kind of anniversary video. I've been doing YouTube, I think, for 7 years, something like that. I did my first video, and I did a little clip of my very first video, and yeah, no, I can't watch them. I don't even generally watch my recent videos apart from when I'm editing them. I just, I still feel a little bit uncomfortable, and I guess that's just normal to see yourself on camera. It's just weird. It's a bit like when you have a Zoom call with someone. It's very off-putting, and like now when we're having a Skype call, it's slightly weird to have a conversation with someone and see yourself at the same time. It's not very natural, is it?
No, and as maybe a narcissist, I'm not really sure, but I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at myself the whole time. So I don't know. Just kidding. Just kidding, of course. So
Yeah. Well, with
Alex,
your looks, it's understandable.
Alex, so you have built a few of these like public case studies. So I'm gonna ask you a lot of questions about those, but it's not
Cool.
super often when we get to chat and just have our friends watching in from all over the world here. It looks like we got 55 people right now, and I think more are going to trickle in since we're just getting started. So there's some things where I'm just like, you know what? I haven't caught up with you in a while. I'm just curious, but don't worry, folks. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of the site that Alex has been working on for a couple of years. It's making roughly $1,000 per month currently. Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get into the details, keyword research, link building. We're going to talk about all the details, content, and everything. So,
Yeah.
a couple things I'm curious about. You mentioned memberships. That was sort of a new functionality that was unlocked. Just in general, where is WP Eagle going? This is a big visionary question. Usually people would save that for the last, but I'm just like, where are you going? You're coming up to 50,000 subscribers, and it's amazing. So where do you see it?
I should probably ask myself the same question. I haven't really got a big plan for the channel. As I say, it kind of crept up on me, really, the kind of how big the channel's got. The main thing I love about the channel is the community, and we can see that there's quite a few members of both our communities, but I know there's quite a few from my community in the chat right now. And I think I really want to build that up in some way and work with the community and help them, because, some of the guys set up a Discord server, which I didn't even know what a Discord was, but there is a WP Eagle Discord now, and there's people in there chatting away. There's the Facebook group. There's obviously YouTube, the comments, and yeah, I need to plan a way, I guess, of kind of making that something bigger and better in a way that we can all help each other, because that's a great thing. I mean, it's not only me, I try and help people as much as I can, but it's other members of the community helping each other. But generally, I haven't really got a big plan. I'm still want to do more affiliate case studies. So I've recently launched a new one, which is the Wheelbarrow niche website, which I'm busy working away on. So I love building sites and sharing the information, which I know a lot of people would think that's a crazy thing to do. And yeah, people do copy my niche, my niches, or niches, I should say, for my American friends. But yeah, a lot of people would say that's crazy, but I love sharing it, and people seem to, it's like a soap opera, to watch and see me doing a video every month on whether it's making money. I'm just about to do an update on the site that we're going to talk about, and it's had a slight downturn, but whether it goes up or down, I think it's still an interesting story, and I think people get a lot out of that because they can relate to it with their own sites.
Right on. I think I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and the guest was talking about not knowing where you're going, but just working on something. You're there, you're showing up every day for several years, and you have a community, like you said, and I think that really shows what the community is. Like, they're doing stuff on their own without you, and then it's running without you, which is fantastic. I mean, then you don't have to try to encourage people to do the stuff. They're doing it on their own, and you don't need to know where you're going. So if people are trying to think, hey, maybe I want to do this and I need to have a long-term vision, if you just show up, like, opportunities will present themselves. Most
stuff
of the
will
time.
happen even without you being there sometimes. It's amazing.
As
long as you've got to show up, you just got to do something. I mean, because a lot of people, there's always I've never been a good planner. I know you're a fantastic planner and project manager and all that kind of stuff, but I am probably the opposite of that. I have these big ideas. I want to do a YouTube channel. I want to get it up to 1 million subscribers, but there won't be much detail in the plan. There'll be that big vision, and I'll just keep turning up and I'll keep doing stuff, and stuff will happen. And I wish I was a little bit more organized in some respects and mapping out a plan. But I have a few ideas. I have a few basics, like I want to put at least one video up a week. I want to stream at least once a week. It's a few little metrics I try and aim for, but other than that, I don't really have a plan.
Yeah, and that's all we can do. I mean, I oftentimes look at the next 6 weeks to quarter or so. I have like the broad strokes, kind of like what you're talking about. It's really easy to make all these plans and then they get derailed. You have to adjust anyway. So I find like 6 weeks is a perfect amount of time to just, do some work. You can relax after that and that sort of thing. So
yeah.
Very cool. Okay, well, let's get into a couple of the nuts and bolts. I'm going to answer a question. I see J May has a site that has 80,000 visitors per month, and daily. Go to SiteGround, go to WPX, talk to the people, figure out which package you need, and then it's going to cost some money if you're getting a lot of traffic. And as far as which company, it really doesn't matter. It's a commodity, so I like SiteGround, I like WPX. Those seem pretty good. But Alex, do you have any preference?
Well, Phil is in the chat. Phil Lancaster. He looks after a lot of my sites now. He is fantastic. It's I've used SiteGround. I still recommend SiteGround. I've got a few other hosting companies that I'm testing out. But Phil, I mean, to have a direct relationship with the hosting company owner. I have his phone number. It's fantastic. So, I know he's looking after a number of other people that are on the channel. Carl, who's also in the chat. So maybe ask Phil, and he'll do you a bespoke server. He uses Amazon servers, that kind of stuff, and helps with anything. Even if I've got a plugin playing up or a theme, he'll help me out. And just a good guy to know. And when you get into that level where you're hitting some good traffic numbers, you kind of need a server guy sometimes.
Yeah.
And Phil is my server guy.
Very cool. Well, thanks. Yeah, reach out to Phil, and feel free to drop me a line later so I can get a link in the description at no charge. But speaking of sponsors, I do need to give a shout out to Ezoic. Check out their Site Speed Accelerator. They underwrite part of the content that I put out there. And if your site's running slow, you could check out that Site Speed Accelerator. It is agnostic for WordPress or whatever. You could put it on any platform, e-commerce sites, affiliate, whatever. So thanks to Ezoic. And digging in here, Alex, to the best roof box site. So it's a public site, and let's talk about just the keyword research in general. That's sort of the starting point. Can you tell us about the approach that you took back in early 2019?
Okay. Well, I've obviously, ever since I was doing pay-per-click, I had a pay-per-click agency before I was doing YouTube. I always knew about long tail, and that was really where the benefit was. And that was how you got some good, cheap traffic with AdWords a day, and that's how you get good ranking on organic search. So when I was looking for a roof box for my car, which is how I came across the niche, really, I just suddenly thought, there's so much content I can write, because there's people searching for, what's the best roof box for a Honda, and even deeper than that, what's the best for a Honda Civic, for a Honda Acura, then same with Toyota, and the list is endless. The number of car manufacturer makes and manufacturers. So I just thought, for content, I'm going to be set, because I can write an article about every single make and model of car, and they're all long tail, and some searches on Google without even using KGR were coming up, but there wasn't that much information. You can't really find much information on those specific cars with those specific roof boxes. That's kind of how it started. And then when I was doing some other searches on Google, I was seeing that people were also, searching for uses for the box. So, the best roof box for carrying skis, or for taking your fishing equipment, or for going camping. So that's kind of where it went. And so I just did loads of Google searches. I took all the Google search suggestions, put them all in a spreadsheet, and I didn't prioritize. I know I could have maybe run it through some keyword tools, got some metrics, did some KGR, and then prioritized. But then I just thought, I'm just going to create as much content as I can. I'm going to create an article for every single make and model, which I haven't done yet, but I've got quite a few. And for any other kind of related topics, all very buyer-focused keywords. I must say, I do like to go for ones where I know that people are searching for a particular product. They're about ready to buy it. So rather than someone searching for, how do I carry more stuff in my car, they're not quite ready to buy a roof box yet. They haven't even thought about roof boxes. Maybe they're thinking maybe about trailers and stuff. I was going for ones where people they've got a car, they want a roof box, they just want to know which roof box they need for their car, and they're ready to buy it. So that's what a lot of my content is. And indeed, a lot of the articles that bring in a good bulk of the traffic are, well, I'll give you an example. One of the best ones is the best roof box for a Subaru Outback, which is a car that I'm not even familiar with. I don't think we even have them in the UK, but yeah, obviously very popular in the US, and that brings me in about 1,000 visitors a month, that article alone.
Awesome. How many keywords did you find initially before you started the site? A lot of people, they get hung up on, how many keywords do I need? I can't start my site until I find this many. I think intrinsically you knew, because of all the makes and models and model changes.
Yeah.
There's an endless number for you, but how many did you get from the start?
I think I had about only about 30 or 40, something like that, and I've just got to start getting content written. And again, with my new site, the Wheelbarrow one, I think it's 40 articles I'm working on, maybe 50. And that's it. I've got a list of keywords that's that long, and I'll get that. And then if I need some more, I'll go looking for some more. But I don't think you need a massive list of keywords. You can easily get a massive list of keywords. The keyword tool, which has got the swear word in it, which I won't say. I don't want to give you any strikes.
Oh, you don't care.
I think they've rebranded it now, haven't they? I think they have. But there's tons of tools that will just spit out thousands of keywords, and I think that can often be overwhelming, actually. And you got too much data, and you don't know where to start.
For sure. Yep, and I agree 100% as far as just like get a manageable number. It's not like you can publish 400 articles instantly. And speaking of content, did you write the content initially since you had this interest or problem to be solved with roof boxes?
I think I've written one article for the site myself, and that was an article that I did as part of a video for the channel. And I think even then I outsourced quite a bit of it actually. I'm not very good writing, although I did write an article today for the site, which is so actually I published it today, so you can go and check it out. Let me know what you think. It's the best white roof boxes, which was something I came across when I was looking at Amazon. I thought, hey, there's a white roof box. People with white cars, of course. Why would you want a black roof box on your white car? Amazon do free, very nice white roof boxes. So, and again, you do a search on Google for the best white roof boxes. There's nothing. Maybe an Amazon product ad. That's about it. So, yeah, I've outsourced all of my content creation. And in the beginning, I was terrible, unlike yourself, and I know a number of other people that are very specific with their briefs for their writers. I literally would just go to a company like Texton or somewhere like that. I would give them a keyword. I'd say I want 1,500 words. That'd be it. And as you can imagine, sometimes I'd get a good article, and other times it'd be I can't even publish that. They've completely missed the point completely.
Well, and to be fair, I don't often do the full brief like you're talking about. For people that don't know, essentially it's just hopefully like half a page or a page of details on what the article should be, so that you end up with similar expectations as the writer, so that hopefully you get a usable product. But it's much easier, Alex, like you said, you just throw the keyword and you hope that they don't screw it up too bad.
Sometimes you come back with something great, and other times you don't. But now I've got a couple of writers that I use regularly, and they know what I want, and I'm a bit more specific. I will now say it's got to include this keyword. I want it to have this title. If there's any other bits that I want to include, maybe some subheadings, I'll let them know that, and I'll also point them in the directions of the products that I want them to write about. Because I'd say, go and choose some products on Amazon. I wouldn't even point them in the direction of the right products, and they'd come back and they'd, put a whole load of roof bags in, and I said, no, it's about roof boxes. They're different thing, and so now I'm a little bit more specific, only because I don't like throwing articles in the bin or rewriting them. It's not efficient.
Just throwing the money away. So
yeah,
with I know your background is sort of in creating websites and developing them, and you have some programming chops. Can you tell us a little bit about the theme? I usually don't think very hard about the theme. I'm more of a minimalist and just use one of them. So what was your approach? I think you use a specific page builder and you have some custom stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, nothing too custom. I use a free theme at the moment. It's called Base WP, although I am now looking at other alternatives. I use the Elementor page builder, which I know a lot of people would go, but I get a lot of compliments about my site and about my content that it looks good, and it does look good. But I have always struggled with site speed, and that's because I'm running Elementor and things like that. And especially with the new core Web Vitals or whatever thing that's coming out soon, I'm a little bit more concerned. So I have been playing with some other builders. I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago where I was playing around with the Oxygen builder, which is really interesting because it doesn't actually require a WordPress theme. You kind of do it all within the page builder. So that's kind of interesting.
Okay. And it's faster?
Yeah, it is fast in terms of Google page speed and all that. It is really fast. So I don't know. I don't want to have a completely simple setup, which I know a lot of people do with their affiliate sites, really just basic theme, no plugins, no nothing. And, I like to have a little bit of a few bells and whistles on the sites.
I mean, you're just trying to sell affiliate offers, though. I mean,
yeah. By the way, it's wpeagle.com/Elementor if you're interested in Elementor Pro. Highly recommended.
Yeah, the tutorials are great, though. By the way, if you're using Elementor, check it out.
Yeah, and another plugin that I really have fallen in love with is AAWP, which again is wpeagle.com/AAWP. I don't know if you've used that, but it uses the Amazon API, and you can create these fantastic tables for your site. And you can pull product information in, and it's just, can make your posts really come alive. And, I like to embed lots of YouTube videos. So every product that I mention, I will go, well, my editor will actually, but I do too. I go over to YouTube and we try and find a video about that product. obviously not one that I've created, just anyone, just to add
Sure.
some value to the content. But all those embeds, they do slow your site down.
Okay, little tip for you. So, and I'll send you an email, but there's a plugin. It's a YouTube performance plugin. My friend over at DIY Themes and DIY Plugins created it, and it
Okay.
puts a placeholder thumbnail so it doesn't load the actual script until the
Okay.
person clicks it. So, I think if you look at the stats, the percentage of people that visit your page that actually watch a video is very low. So you're loading
Mm.
all the script for
Yeah.
like 15%. So anyway, I'll introduce you because it's
Good
a good
tip. Thank you.
product.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
look out for that.
And okay, I'm curious about specific mistakes that you made with the site. So even if you know what you're doing, it's pretty likely, we make mistakes, right? We get in a
Mm.
hurry, we're trying to, cut corners or something like that. Did you make any small
Yeah.
blunders along the way?
Well, the one I've just mentioned, one which is not briefing writers as well as I could have done, and having some articles that had to go in the bin or trash can. Um, so yeah, that was one mistake. I spent quite a bit of money with the Hoff, which I know you're familiar with, which is very hard to gauge the value I got from that. So I bought some guest posts from them, which they did deliver. They put me on some quite high trafficking, quite high domain rank sites. So I don't know if they had much benefit, but for example, one guest post was $500 alone. So that's for one post with one link. I kind of did it as a way of showing people what you get. Really, I wanted to create videos around it, so not all wasn't lost. Um, Other things that I paid for, I asked the Hoff to create me some videos. So I set up a Best Roof Box YouTube channel, and I basically sent them some articles that were already on the site, and they made videos out of them. Yeah, they weren't very good either. So yeah, I think they were the main mistakes, really.
Did
Um, yeah.
did did they actually have someone just read the content, or how did they create the video?
Yeah, they had a guy who's done a lot of their videos, so he pops up in all sorts of videos about all sorts of different subjects. But yeah, he kind of stood there. He had this look about him like he'd kind of gone to Hollywood and he wanted to be a big actor, and he ended up making Hoff videos. So yeah, he was kind of standing there looking a little bit despondent, and then they kind of just cut it with some standard stock sort of B-roll stuff of a roof box on a car going up through the mountains. Yeah, not very good. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to create some really good, valuable videos, you need to get your hand on the products, really, don't you? And create some decent videos. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe you could do it with a screen share or some other kind of animation, possibly. I don't know.
I think I think you're right. Just a talking head is probably not super valuable, but think about when, I don't know, Apple's launching, or some companies launching a new cell phone, and
Yeah.
people just cover the specs because they got the announcement. So
Mm.
I think you could probably get away with a couple things here and there where
Yeah, if
you're,
people just want to know the details about a product, yeah, I could probably, put an image. I could put some text. This can hold, 150 pound of gear, and it's this big. It's great for 5 skis. Yeah, I guess you could. I'll have to think about doing that. Although, to be fair, though I am a YouTuber, my video editing is not that good still. But I think you outsource that, and you maybe
I
help me out with a
do.
good video editor.
Yeah, so and that's how you end up with, like, I do hour-long videos and you do 2 hour-long videos. It's because we're not editors. But
Yeah,
I do outsource. She does an awesome job, my editor, and I'm not too picky, so I could just send over the content. She edits it. I'm trying to like up my game a little bit and just put in a little more B-roll and that sort of thing, just to spice it up a bit.
yeah.
So she'll be
No,
able
I
to
think
help with
that's
that.
that's what you have to do. I mean, I don't know, but you want, end of the day, it's the content that people want from us. We're not making Hollywood movies with special effects or anything. People generally just want to know what we're saying, and I guess
Yeah.
I think sometimes videos can be over edited where there's literally no pauses and it's just jump cut, tastic. They've cut out every little and all kind of thing, and I think sometimes you've got to leave a little bit of the kind of natural flow of when you record a video. So sometimes, in my tutorial videos where I'm creating a site, I'll make a mistake. A lot of the time I won't edit that out. I'll just kind of carry on. And a lot of people say they get value out of that, because at the end of the day, when you're following me and you're making mistakes or things are going wrong, it's actually quite handy for me to show you that, that happens to me as well. It's not always perfect. Sometimes you install a plugin and it doesn't work, and
Yeah.
kind of show people how to overcome that.
Very, very good point.
There's a couple of questions in the chat. I don't know if are you going to save them to the end, or you want to do them now?
Yeah, you know what? Let's hit a couple here, and I have an overlay because this little bit is sponsored by Niche Website Builders, so you can check out some of the stuff they're doing. Do you know them, Alex, already?
No, I don't think I do.
All right. Well, I'll intro you guys too. You may actually live close to one another. They're from the UK as well. So I'm not. My geography is really bad, so I have no clue how close.
I'll look them up. Let me see where they are. Yeah.
All right. So you can check out a couple of discounts. They're good dudes over there. They came out of the audience, and they have like a good corporate strong background like myself. So they're good at building teams and just getting shit done fairly quickly. So a couple of questions that did come up. Thanks, Alex, for pointing it out. I saw Alina asked about the free theme that you mentioned. And which one was that?
It's called Base WP. It is free.
Okay. And it's just plain vanilla. Who puts that out?
I can't remember the guy. He's done a few themes. It's just a really lightweight theme. It's not got too many things, but it works well with Elementor. If you just type that into the the theme thing within WordPress, you'll find it. They do have a premium version, but you probably don't need that.
Okay, very good. AG is asking, how long will it take to get traffic on your site? I started 3 weeks ago. So what's your experience, Alex, with that?
It takes 6 months. About 6 months. I don't know whether it's a sandbox or whatever, but in my experience with all of the sites that I've had, the real traffic starts to come around the 6 month mark. I think a lot of people, they want things to happen quickly. It's understandable. But with affiliate marketing, it's just, you need a lot of patience. You got to keep working, and you got to keep adding content, and you'll keep checking your Google Analytics and that kind of thing, and not much will be happening. And it can be a little bit disheartening, can't it? And you think, oh, I've added 30 articles. I've been doing it for 3 months. Still not much is happening. But then suddenly it will start to go up, and then things will start to happen. But yeah, 3 weeks is not a very long time. To be fair, my analytics is always skewed a little bit, because when I launch the site, I often do it at the same time as I'm uploading a video about that site. So I get a whole burst of traffic come from YouTube and direct. So always skews it, but generally the good organic, the real traffic comes in about 6 months.
And do you think that some of that traffic coming from YouTube, just referral traffic, helps boost your rankings?
Maybe. I don't know. At the end of the day, so for example, Best Roof Box, I've created, I don't know, maybe 40 videos on YouTube about it. Every video has a link in the description to the channel. I guess my channel's got a little authority with 50,000 subscribers and being 7 years old. So I don't know. Everyone says that maybe a link from YouTube is quite valuable.
I think they are, especially if I think any link, even no follow, can be valuable if there is traffic actually going through. And I was going to say, I think I did 10 videos about Best Roof Box, and I sent a few thousand visitors as well. So, I mean, anytime somebody's talking about the stuff, I don't think Google is analyzing like, hey, these are affiliate marketers talking about this as a case study, not as, I mean, I guess they know the keywords and what the video is about, but
yeah, I don't know if it's that clever, maybe. But I say, I think any traffic and any link is a good thing.
World of Aviation asks, how early days of analytics affiliate website look like in terms of CTR, impressions, and Google Search Console? So I think the deeper question is, what does the Search Console tell us typically? And I mean, it could be, I'll go first here. It could be all over the place. It really depends on how much content you're publishing and the quality of the keyword research and the quality of the content. So each one of those factors is multiplied, and you could end up with a lot of impressions early on, or like 2 or 3 per day for the first few months. So what do you see, Alex?
I don't know. Again, it's going to be on the kind of keywords you go for. I mean, if you're able to answer someone's question very accurately, your page title matches their search, very closely, then you're gonna get a good CTR. Obviously, whatever Google shows as your description, we used to be able to kind of dictate it with the meta description, but generally now I think Google just chooses what that snippet is going to be. That's going to have a big effect. And again, this takes me back to when I used to run a lot of Google AdWords campaigns. We'd run 2 or 3 different ads on the same keyword, sometimes just with very subtle changes, maybe a different headline or even a different URL. And that could have a big effect on CTR. But I'm happy to share some information. I've just pulled up my search console now. Best Roof Box over the last 3 months has had an average CTR of 6.7%. I don't know if that's good or bad. And I think, again, those are metrics that you probably shouldn't worry about too much, because I'm not sure how much of an effect you can really have on them. But I say, generally the rule with CTR is the more relevant your result is to the search, the better the CTR is going to be.
Well said. A question that came in from our friend Adrian, Hasta La Vista Boss. What's the minimum search volume you would go for when choosing keywords? Directed to you, Alex.
I wouldn't obsess with search volume too much. If it was coming up as a suggestion from Google, that would be enough for me. Even if Keyword Tools were saying that's 0 a month, I would still say, well, it's got to be more than 0 a month, because Google has learned it from somewhere. One person somewhere has typed that into Google because Google has learned it. And I don't know what, I guess no one knows what the criteria is in terms of when a keyword hits that Google search suggest, but I'd imagine it has to have a good handful of searches before it starts to appear in that search suggestion. So yeah, I don't really worry. And I've heard many a story from people that said, oh, I wrote this article and Keyword Tools said there wasn't many searches, and it's bringing in me loads of traffic. So
yep, and I hear that a lot with like straight up 0 search volumes, but they're an auto suggest. So next is about link building. So is link building necessary? Is if I'm using the keyword golden ratio or any other off-page SEO? And I was going to, kind of move to a segment of link building because I'm curious about you, Alex, what you've done for Best Roof Box. But just at a higher level, this general question, is link building necessary if you're going after low volume keywords?
No, I don't think it's too necessary. I think you need a few links just to get your site found, to give you a little bit of credibility. But I mean, link building personally is not something that I've spent too much time on. And I may be wrong there, that I should have spent more time on it, because you hear a lot of SEO experts and they'll swear by link building. You get a good few links and that can really give you a push. But the thing with link building is, and you may have a different answer, is I find it quite hard to link build. The outreach thing is something that needs someone like you, a good project manager and a good spreadsheet and some patience to do, and I'm not very good at that. So the link building that I've done is, say, I paid the Hoff to do some guest posts. I've answered some Quora questions, which have actually stuck pretty well. Generally my answer will be the top answer, or at least be in there somewhere. So that's bringing a bit of traffic, and I guess that has some credibility with Google, although I think they're probably no follow links. And I've also done, Pinterest and YouTube. I mentioned YouTube, so I get the links from YouTube, both from my WP Eagle channel and from the Best Roof Box channel.
Very good.
But yeah, that's about it on the link building.
And Justin mentions that backlink building is so hard, and I hear that a lot. So the original question from AG there, technically you can get away with no link building, but usually what I tell people is, all else being equal, right? If you're just publishing content and your competitors are building links, assuming they're not terrible, they're going to win, right? Links matter. Like Google tells you links matter. There are a lot of people who will try to scare you from not doing any link building and tell you it's really dangerous. But the fact is, nowadays, algorithm updates can impact your site, whether you have backlinks that you built, if you have natural backlinks, or 0 backlinks. So I don't think that argument holds up anymore. I think from a marketing standpoint, KGR, right? I marketed it saying, you don't have to build backlinks. So I'm talking to myself as well. I see the irony here, everyone. I get it. But it's really a sexy idea, right? If everyone's telling you to build links, people think it's a hard thing to do. And then I tell you, well, you don't have to build links. There's an easier way. now that I have my foot in the door, I can tell you that building backlinks is really helpful. And I think one thing I've been playing around with and have had a lot of folks tell me about it is Haro, help a reporter out. So Alex, have you looked at Haro? Have you played
Yeah.
with this?
Again, I signed up for that. I get emails from them, I think, every day or whatever, and I just again that's I probably need a VA or something to help me with that, someone to look through, find some relevant automobile type topics that I could possibly contribute to. But I think link building is important. But I think maybe this is how why I'm doing quite well is those links from the Hoff did have a bit of influence, and they boosted my overall domain ranking or domain whatever score. I think we used to call it page rank. I don't know. They got rid of that Google page rank. And I think that once you get to a certain domain authority where you've got a few links and Google recognizes that, okay, this site is pretty good, it's got some links, it's credible. Then when you start to use your KGR method and you add an article, because you've already got that domain authority, that immediately flows into that new article. And if there isn't much competition because you've done KGR, that article can pop up in Google the same day, possibly, or at least within a week, really quickly, because you've got that bit of domain authority. So I think you don't need to obsess with link building and think, oh, I've got to build links to every single article I publish. I think you just need a few good quality links to your domain. And then that combined with some long tail content, that's how you're going to get your rankings.
I think you're right about that. And I think once you start getting some of those long tail rankings, you potentially can get natural links because people are looking for a reference. You rank number
Yeah.
one for something obscure and you're good to go. And I'll add in here that if you are maybe a little perverse in some way, let me finish, and you like link building, all right, and you like link building, I think number one, you'll stand out from the competition from just a content standpoint. You publish content, you can get backlinks, great. People, I mean, you just mentioned the Hoth. People pay a lot of money to have links built. And I would say if you were slightly competent at link building, legit links that were helpful, within, I would say 3 to 6 months, you could probably start from scratch an SEO link building service and make 6 figures a year. Easy. I think
Mm.
it's a no brainer, but it's
Yeah.
hard to do.
It's a job
And
no one wants to do.
it sucks. Yeah. And if you figure out how to do it, you'll probably just do it for your own site, not sell it. So,
But yeah, I see Gizmo Plans in the chat there. He says he's never built backlinks. They come naturally. I get close to 100,000 page views per month. Zero link building, zero. Yes, I've got those links naturally, which at the end of the day, that is why Google counts links. It counts links because the original, idea was that people link to good websites. People link to good content. So, in theory, going back to the old days, good content should naturally bring in links. And you're right, it will. But sometimes you need, I think, a little bit of a push to get your site moving.
yeah.
Once you've started to get traffic, then people will share your stuff. People will talk about it in forums. And people, those links will come.
And this is a great, I think I could share this little comment. How do I feature that thing? Like that. Okay, there we go. There we go. So Gizmo Plan mentions this, and I will, yes, I think you're telling the truth. Everything's cool, right? One problem that I see all the time with, well, anything is confirmation bias. And we all have it. I mean, we all have different biases, but there are one-off examples for anything that you want to prove. So if you go look and you're like, oh, Gizmo Plans is telling us he's getting all these visitors and he didn't build links. Yes, totally possible. But if you talk to people who build websites all the time, generally they're like, you should do some promotion. So if you don't want to do any, totally cool. I respect it. It's fine. I'm not telling people what to do, but you could always find an example for what you think already. So don't just move on. Like there's opposing views out there. Any comments,
Yeah,
Alex, on
I
that?
think I think you have to plant a seed somewhere. You have to. There needs to be an initial link or two just to get your site moving. Otherwise, I don't think a site is ever going to rank with zero links. I just don't. I just think,
So
submitting your site to Google Webmaster Tools or Webmaster Search Console is probably not enough.
very
But I might
good.
be wrong. I don't know. If you're in a really sparse niche where there's not much competition, then I guess Google thinks, well, why not? It's the best we got. Let's rank that site.
Let's do it. And just for full, I'm not, no disrespect, Gizmo Plan. So I'm just going to read out your other comments here where you say, you don't need to go out and collect or promote. And you said, say what you want, but it's not needed. And also, sorry, but not needed. Nope, with all caps. So loud and clear. I mean, it's a controversial topic, which is why, if I go out and talk about KGR and no link building, people get really excited about it and they'll check it out, which is great. I mean, it's a topic that some people are really polarized on, that's the stuff you got to talk about.
Yeah, that's where
So
everyone's polarized on everything. That's humans for you. And never agree. But I'd be interested with Gizmo Plans that you say that's happened for one site, but have you got a portfolio of sites and that's happened for each one of your sites? Or, end of the day, sometimes you can just get lucky. And I mean, I will say I've done other sites, like I did a swimming pool signs website, and pretty sure I didn't really do much link building for that one. I don't think I did any, and it is getting a trickle of traffic. So,
yeah.
but it's only a trickle. I don't know. I think
So
if you really want to fly, you need to build a few links.
yeah. And I mean, people are successful without building any links, but one area that I see people do videos on this, essentially they say it's unnatural for a brand new website to get backlinks. You should wait 6 months before building any backlinks, blah, blah, blah. I totally disagree, and I'll tell you why in a second. But Alex, what do you think about a new website? Do you wait or do you build links right away?
I build links straight away. I don't
Good.
see a problem with that. I think an easy place to start. I think AG has just asked what is Web 2, which is the term that I haven't heard for a good few years. I think we must be nearly on Web 3. But so there was always this Web 2 link building where you just basically go and create loads of social media profiles on tons of different platforms. And obviously within each of these social medias sites, you can have a profile, and within the profile, you can add a link. So, I think that's a good place to start. I mean, I wouldn't go and sign up with 100 different social media platforms, but certainly set up a Facebook page, certainly set up a Twitter, a YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest. Each one of those you can add a link. So that's 5 links. They're probably all no follow, but then they're completely natural. Most new sites would set up a social media presence straight away. So yeah, and there's nothing wrong with, say, going on to Quora and answering a few questions, and again, linking. I've never seen any penalties or anything for linking to a new site.
Okay. Yeah. And I think from my perspective, if someone is a marketer like we are and you're launching something, you will tell people about it and
Mm,
probably you'll be able to get links from it. So it's completely natural to get links. Let's say, Alex, you're launching, say, a new brand, a new blog or something, and then you tell me about it and you tell like 5 other people, then you're probably going to get a handful of links. And then
yeah.
other people know me, so they may link to it as well and just talk about it. So it's completely natural. Um,
Just one area. I had a guest on a couple of weeks back, and it was Sean, who's also another YouTuber. He was doing quite a lot on Reddit. Is that an area that you've ever explored? Getting involved in discussions on Reddit and maybe getting the odd link in here or there. I don't know.
I
I've never really gone on Reddit or forums in general.
so I
But again,
think
if you're a member of a forum and you've got a bit of credibility within that forum because you've been posting regularly, then of course when you launch a new site, you would put a post on that forum and say, "Hey guys, do you want to check out my new site?" And completely normal. But yeah, have you had any experience with Reddit or anything like that?
not much. I explored it a little bit as people were saying, "Hey, I've been able to be part of the community over there and everything," but I always found, as I was just reading, that they're kind of assholes. And like, if you're an outsider and if you're coming in trying to self promote, they're super hard on you and they'll just kick you out. So
Yeah,
I've had people mention my stuff, and then I get a pretty good amount of traffic from that.
yeah,
But as I looked at it, I was like, oh, they're gonna just kick me in the nuts
yeah. So
here.
that's a big time investment. You need to spend some time in there. You need to make some friends. you need to add a lot of value, and then you might be able to talk about your stuff in 6 months' time when everyone knows that you're a good guy and you're not there just to talk about your own stuff.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that would have been my only driver because I'm not much of a forum person, or I just don't. It takes too much time, and I don't
Yeah,
like doing it. So,
yeah, I know.
in quick note, Gizmo Plans, the person mentioned, hey, no disrespect, I like you guys, love watching the content. So yeah, none taken. Great conversation, and it's good to have the opposing views in. So much appreciated. Glad you mentioned it. I want to hop in and just say thanks, Alex. Everyone, be sure you check out his channel. I linked up, sign up for his email list, go watch his videos, comment on it. He has the British accent and it's more pleasant than mine. I realize that. He pronounces words in a more proper way. You know, I'm out here niche, niche, you know, all that stuff. And how do
It's
you say it
niche. It's
again?
a French word.
It's like a little corner, right? It's like a little
Yeah, I
nook.
don't know. It's just it's from the French would never make that ch sound. They're always very smooth with the language, so it's always going to be niche. My niche today is, you know, I don't know. But I love the American accent. I love that you use all these strange words like trash and niche,
And
and
what did you say?
then
The
you
rubbish
don't drink
can or
tea. You don't
something?
even have a kettle in your house, do you?
Oh,
You
you
know?
know what, man? I have a kettle. I'm literally drinking some herbal tea right now out of this glass with my
Wow.
face on it.
Yeah, I see it. That's
That's a
good. And so
sexy guy.
you're not making tea in a microwave. That's a step forward.
Thanks. Yeah. What do you just drink? Or what kind of tea do you drink?
Well, we drink black tea generally, English tea, which of course is not English. It's originated from China, probably.
Sure.
Um, and we have it with a dash of milk, which again no other country does. It's a strange habit, but I like it. You can drink more of it than coffee. I think you have one or two coffees and it's too many.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Well, my dad drinks like English breakfast tea is how they brand it over here, but they just
Mm.
call it tea over there, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And often
um,
that English breakfast tea is not quite the same either, because when you go to hotels and stuff abroad, they always have the English breakfast. It's like Twinings, but it's not the same.
no. Okay. Do you
Um,
get like loose leaf, or do you do the bags? Or
no, no. Do we do the bags? I have a teapot though. Of course, you have to have a teapot. We did do loose leaf for a little while, and that is actually better, but you have to strain it and all that. It's a little
so
bit
yeah, it's like a whole ceremony
whole
there.
thing. But
So
yeah, always with a teapot. Brew it for a few minutes, then just a dash of milk in the bottom of the cup, and then you pour in from the teapot. No
very
sugar,
good.
right?
Okay, and it's way less caffeine, so and it doesn't give you the jitters, so you could have one in the evening or whatever.
Yeah, I've just had one right now. It's
Very good.
delicious.
For the people that say like affiliate marketing is saturated, do you have any response for that? I mean, I hear this all the time.
No, it's not. It's not saturated. Nothing is saturated. Um, a lot of people would say that about YouTube, but I don't want to do YouTube. There's already another 10 channels that would do stuff that I'm doing. Or I don't want to do niche because I don't want to do that niche website because there's already a whole load of other sites doing it. At the end of the day, there is always one unique aspect to everything, every YouTube channel, every niche site, and that is the person that's making it. That's you. You are the unique thing. So even though we have channels that cover similar ground, obviously, as you say, you have a different accent. I have a different accent. We talk about different things. We have a different personality, a different style. So yeah, I don't think that should put you off. Obviously, there are, in terms of niches, there are some very saturated niches, and there's a lot of competition. But that still doesn't mean that you can't approach it from a different angle. You can, offer something slightly different or a different slant on things. But no, as affiliate marketing as a business concept is infinite in possibility.
Switching gears, I'm going to hit some sort of rapid fire questions. These are things where I'm like, you know what? I haven't talked to Alex in a while. I am curious. So, fitness wise, do you go to the gym often? Like, what's your sort of exercise or fitness regimen?
I don't go to the gym. I didn't like gyms before COVID, and I certainly don't like gyms now. Sweaty places with people breathing everywhere. That sounds like a nightmare right now. Um, no, I do karate. That's kind of which
Oh,
again hasn't been on for a little while, and we're about to get back on. Although the Prime Minister came on today and said we're now not allowed to meet more than 5 people. So I think that could have an effect on that. But yeah, I love karate. I'm going towards my brown belt. It's a great way to go and just kind of clear your head and have a bit of discipline and and also fight a bit, get some aggression out, and do a bit of shouting. Although shouts are now banned in karate because of COVID, you're not allowed to shout.
Oh,
Does that spread infection? A bit of shouting, I guess it does.
how about
So yeah,
that?
that's my fitness. Yeah, I've got the kids; they keep me fit, so I'm often out on the trampoline with them, bouncing up and down. But yeah,
How old are your
I'm
kids?
not a big runner or whatever. I like walking. I've got a park just up the road. You probably know recently my dog died, so I haven't had a good excuse to go walking every day around the park. But when she was younger, we used to go out like twice a day around the park and stuff, which is fine. Yeah, it's
Sorry to hear
Showtime
about your dog, by
karate.
the
Yeah.
way. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry to hear about your dog.
Yeah,
Rest in
you've got
peace.
dogs, haven't you? So you know what it's like.
Indeed. What about sleep? Are you, with the kids, it may interrupt your sleep a little bit, but for me, I slept over 8 hours last night, which is a bit rare. And I felt like so good today. But yeah, what's your sleep? Are you pretty regimented?
No, I don't really sleep enough. I often, the kids go to bed like 8 o'clock, and then I'll tend to work in the evening till late, maybe 10 or 11, and then I'll want to go and unwind a little bit. So I'll go watch some TV or play a video game for an hour. I'm not in bed normally before midnight, and then especially now with the schools back on, the kids have you up at 7 in the morning. So I'll try and get 7 hours a night, maybe on a good night.
Okay. Yeah. And I think I can get by on 6 hours for, weeks on end, but it always wears me out. And then once I sleep a little bit more, I feel like superhuman. Like I'm smarter. I just feel better. I'm in a better mood and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So a lot of folks are
yeah,
asking
sleep is
what
it. I
kind
know
of karate you
there's some
practice.
karate questions.
Yeah.
Michelle asked, "Do you wear a mask?" No, they don't make you use a mask, but you do have to stand, well apart from everyone, facing forward. There's no contact anymore or anything like that. Mike says, unlike canoe polo, which is interesting. Mike is a friend from a long time ago when we were much younger, and we used to be in a canoe polo team, which is a fantastic sport. You're in a swimming pool, five aside in canoes, helmets on, face masks, and there's kind of goals suspended across the end of the pool, and you're paddling around, throwing a ball about the size of a soccer ball. And yeah, we used to kind of play quite a lot. But yeah, I haven't done canoe polo for a long time. You just reminded me of that, Mike.
Whoa. Is that COVID friendly?
I don't know. I think a lot of swimming pools are shut right now. You think though, a swimming pool, it's full of like chlorine. It's the most sterile, thing in the world. You're covering yourself with chlorine. I
Yeah.
don't know.
They're open around here. I mean, actually, they're open today, even in the snow. Like there's one at the apartment building close by. And yeah, it's been packed for the past, because everyone's home, they're quarantining, but they'll go down to the pool and hang
Yeah, I
out.
mean, we no one has pools. They're all public pools here, so I think they are opening, but I don't think you're allowed to use the changing area or the showers or anything. You have to turn up in your swimming gear, get in the pool, and then just leave straight away and go out shivering to the the parking lot.
Oh, man. Productivity. So you mentioned earlier you're not like the best project planner, but do you have any tips where you're like, I crush it when I do X or Y? Just curious
Yeah,
about any things.
I'm not the best at getting stuff done, but today I've been quite productive. And the thing I did differently today, I had a clear idea what I wanted to do. And I often find this that you have to kind of focus on the big stuff, the stuff that is going to make a difference to what you're doing. So for me, it's making a video for the YouTube channel, or it's, working on one of my sites, adding content, preparing content, planning content, anything that I know is actually going to move me closer to where I want to go, which is obviously success of some sort. So we haven't quite worked out what it is, but I know that those things have a bigger effect than, for example, checking my email. It's very easy in the morning to jump into your email and just get stuck in that, and the morning will disappear, and then you'll come away feeling, oh, I haven't really done anything. And that's because you haven't. And so it's kind of prioritizing those big jobs, the jobs that often you don't want to do, like creating a whole video or writing an article, the stuff that's harder. But and again, with those things, I often find if I'm not motivated, I'll say, okay, I'll just do a little bit. Okay, that article, I'll just do half of the article. I'll just do the first paragraph. I'll just do the product table. And I find that often then once you do that first little bit, you then got a bit of momentum and you can actually end up finishing the task. Same with the video. I think, okay, I'll just record it today. I won't edit it. I won't do anything like that. But then often when I've recorded it, I've then got a bit of energy and I'll go, oh yeah, I want to edit it. I want to get it uploaded. So I guess it's just starting and it's just prioritizing the big jobs. And it's also the problem with being a YouTuber is you want to go onto YouTube because you want to check your channel, you want to check your analytics, you want to answer comments. So you fire up YouTube and then the YouTube homepage hits you and it's got all these fantastic videos that it knows that you want to watch. So you're like, maybe I'll just watch that quick 10-minute, and then before you know it, again, the morning's gone and you feel terrible. And I've also found that if you can do those big tasks, like if you can if you can publish an article to your site, or if you do a video to your YouTube channel, at the end of the day, you just feel great because you go, I've done something today, something that's tangible, rather than just watch YouTube and check your email.
Email kills me too. It's the worst because you may need to go check on something in your inbox and then you end up 15 emails deep and you reply to one, you get two back, like that
Yeah.
kind of situation.
You
So
constantly you think I'm going to do this, but it's never ending. It's an infinite loop, isn't it? Email. The same with YouTube videos. You go, I'm just going to watch one, and then you watch that, and then down the side there's a whole load of other ones. Oh, that looks good. Oh.
yeah, and they're so good at
Yeah,
distracting you. I mean, they know what's going to pull me in.
yeah,
So to summarize, it's you're like do the hardest work, like just get started. You'll often get momentum, and that works for you
yeah.
personally.
Just
Like,
start it and try and prioritize what's going to actually make a difference to what I'm doing today. What's going to help me take a step forward to my goal, to where I want to be, and just do that. And you don't have to do. I say you don't have to do it all in one go, but just start. I think that's the main thing. Just start it. Don't worry about finishing it today. Just start it today.
has that been your working style, maybe since through university and your professional career as well?
Yeah, yeah. Generally, although I never went to university. I was an apprentice, pulling data cables in and installing telephone systems in offices, that kind of stuff. And then after that, I was more of a kind of salesman, I guess. I was often the person that got the deals in. And even when I had my agency, I generally didn't do a lot of the technical stuff, the AdWords or any of that kind of stuff. I was the one who went out and just took clients out for lunch and that kind of stuff, which I found was quite easy. There's some very good pubs in London.
Yes, there are. I see. Oh, related world of aviation. Oop, wrong question. Do you work on weekends, and how long have you been working as a self-employed person?
Mm. I've been working as a self-employed person for nearly 18 years, probably something like that, since I stopped working for someone else. But I think I find that you work 24 hours. Well, when you're awake anyway. Weekends, you probably find the same, especially now with smartphones. You'll always answer that email or whatever, those little jobs. Sometimes I'll do bigger jobs, especially if the kids are away for the weekend. I find that the weekend is a good time actually to do those jobs, that like make a video or write an article or make a website, any of those big jobs, because there isn't as many interruptions from your email and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, when you work for yourself, you never really switch off, do you? I don't know about you, but I find it quite difficult.
I have a hard time as well. I've only been working for myself for about 5 years. I got laid off
Mm.
from my corporate job, but it's very easy, like you said, with all the connectivity. And I mean, I turn notifications off on my phone. I'm moving more towards not being interrupted so much. And in fact, coming up pretty soon, my wife and I are doing sort of a little trip up in the mountains and detoxing from all these devices and stuff. So we'll have
A
like,
digital detox, I think they call it.
oh yeah, and I'm pumped because email is the thing that gets me. And I mean, we work for ourselves. We choose how we're gonna do it, and I'm trying. It's so hard, but I try to just move slightly to the direction of like not being as connected, so that yeah, when I do good work, when I'm doing something meaningful, it's usually I'm disconnected and I wouldn't even need an internet connection. And
Mm.
that's way better and way less stressful. So those
Yeah,
days
I think
always
that's a
feel
good tip.
better.
Definitely, notifications are not a good thing. I've turned off a lot of notifications because otherwise your email is going to be pinging social media, all that kind of stuff, and it just breaks your chain of thought. Say if you want to sit down and actually work on something, and you start, and then ping, you've got a message. You think, oh, I'll just quickly do that, or I'll just reply to that, and then suddenly you're gone again. You're gone. Turn off all your notifications. I would say you don't need any notifications. You do it on your terms. You can do your email at the end of the day, whenever you want to do the email, but do it on your terms. And I think people do expect responses quickly, but hey, sometimes they have to wait a little while.
Indeed. All right, last couple questions here. And Alex, I booked you for an hour here, so we're at the end. Can you stick around for a couple more questions?
I won't know where to go right now.
All right, excellent. Okay. Secondary question on that is like, do you miss colleagues or having coworkers around?
Yeah, that is the biggest problem with working for yourself. And I bet a lot of people have found that now with the COVID thing where they've been working from home, they miss the office banter. And I used to love office banter and all that kind of stuff. And I do actually have a couple of clients that I work with kind of sporadically, to be fair. But one of them is just up the road, and sometimes I'll go in for meetings, or I used to actually go in maybe once a week for a couple of hours and just sit in the office and do some work in there. And I loved actually being in the office and having the banter and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they're probably not going in now because of COVID, but yeah, I do miss the colleagues, and that's kind of where YouTube and my community comes in, because that gives me a little bit of that. Another thing I do is I also have a little networking group that I run locally. Again, we've been just meeting on Zoom recently, but we used to meet up in the golf club every month. And yeah, it's kind of a legacy thing. When I was doing other things, I was a member of this networking group, and then for whatever reason, the original founders left. And I was like, well, I don't want to let it disappear. So I took it over, and there's a lot of small businesses there. There's accountants, there's florists, there's all sorts of businesses. So they kind of think it's a little bit weird that there's a YouTuber in the networking group. But yeah, I like it because I get to meet people and talk about business, and yeah, it's a bit of fun. But yeah, I think that is one of the big downsides of working from home, working for yourself, is just the loneliness and the interaction with people.
And it sounds like more introverted, so I thrive. This has been totally fine. I don't miss. I made some good friends, and I can. Maybe you call it ambivert. So I can go in and out, be social if I need to. I could also lock myself in a room and work for 14 hours a day with no interaction, and I'm also fine. So I don't miss it too much. Couple quick questions I'll hit. One, someone asked, what do you use for linking Amazon products to specific countries? I use Genius Link. Any of the tools will do it. It's an easy problem to solve. Just Google it. Hasta la Vista Boss asks about my mic arm. It's a cheap one. I don't even know what brand. I probably should have got I should have got like the $200 one now that I'm beating the hell out of this one. Do you have a good mic?
Yeah. It's not as good. I've got the this one which bring it over there. That mine's a blue one. The same people that make the microphone.
Okay. This is probably like $20 or so. It's kind of a piece of shit. So I should have gotten a better one. YouTube channels. What are your favorites right now? What's popping up on your homepage there?
I like Hasta la Vista Boss. Of course, he's had some really good guests recently, and he's been getting about a little bit.
Yeah.
And you got to give props to Adrian, because he's still grinding the 9 to 5. He works on building sites and stuff, and then to come back and do a live stream or anything like that, that's dedication, definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But so yeah, I enjoy his stuff. Some of the bigger stuff that I like, I'm still watching a lot of Alex Becker. I think he's interesting. Yeah, and the way he's just kind of turned his whole life, and just following him as a journey. He used to make videos in front of his Ferrari, and now he's just got rid of all that kind of stuff. And he makes some very kind of top level, interesting videos about stuff. You should check him out. I've been watching quite a bit of Russell Brand, actually. You probably know Russell Brand. He was married to Kate Perry. Really interesting guy, and he was over here way before he was over in America, and but he's talking a lot of metaphysical stuff, and kind of being in the moment and meditation, and and all that kind of stuff, which I think can be really really useful. And I've just started dipping into a few podcasts as well. I mean, I don't know if you've got any good ones. You mentioned you're going to make a podcast, but yeah, I've been listening
Yeah.
to some different podcasts. But yeah, I try not to watch too much YouTube or listen to too many podcasts because it can be distracting. Although if you're doing some kind of repetitive work, it's quite nice to have something on in the background.
Definitely. And for my YouTube viewing, I try to watch people who are outside the marketing area. One, because it's boring to just watch. I mean, no offense, Alex. I mean, I don't watch many of your videos. I pop through here and there, but
Oh, I don't watch many of yours either.
yeah,
So
it's like we're talking about the same stuff, and we have to be. I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to make a video and then just copy what you just said. Like,
no.
so I
Well,
have to preserve.
I don't really make videos for you. And I guess you don't make videos for me, do you? I mean, I'm trying to make
Right.
videos for people that are trying to learn stuff.
Indeed. So yeah, I watch a lot. I watch a few vloggers, and I like Matt Diavella quite a bit. Peter McKinnon. I watch a lot of like camera and videography folks too, because I'm just interested in the gear, and I want to up my game as far as like being able to shoot video and B-roll, which I suck at, and I really
Mm.
need to work hard at doing that. I've thought about hiring a videographer just to follow me around. How like narcissistic is that? It's like, yeah, just
Yeah.
follow me around. I'm gonna do some cool
You can get
stuff
like a
today.
drone that does that now.
I should strap my GoPro to my dog and see what kind of footage
Yeah.
she'll get. Okay, Charles.
No, I also watch other video type ones because they're always useful, like how to do lighting and stuff, which I still obviously need to learn looking at the lighting tonight. But yeah,
It's so
I
so
love all that.
dramatic. All right, Charlie says, have you ranked first for the primary keyword in a few months, but saw a larger jump later in ranking for longer tail keywords in 6 to 9 months? Any experience with that, Alex?
No, I mean, I I very rarely have a primary keyword. I mean, I guess when I set up the site, obviously, my main thought of the keyword was best roof box. I just thought, that would be a good primary keyword, and I do rank for that keyword. I think I'm page one, maybe position 3 or 4, something like that. But it's the long tail that brings in the traffic, as you know. So that's where my focus is, and if they're bringing in the traffic, if they're ranking well, which generally they do, and you've got more chance of getting the snippet and all that kind of stuff, then I don't worry too much about the primary keyword because that's what everyone else is going for. All your competition wants that keyword too, so it's
Hmm.
not take the fight somewhere else.
Yeah, Charlie, I haven't seen this specifically, but I don't know that I've looked for it really. If I experienced it, it was probably like longer ago. It's more likely that people will rank for the longer tail keywords first and then rank for the bigger keywords later. So
Yeah,
definitely
it tends to go
flipped
that way.
upside down. So, all right, let's see. World of Aviation says, what will happen if Amazon affiliate, if the whole program disappears tomorrow?
We'll find some other program.
Yeah, if you have traffic, you'll figure something out, usually.
Yeah,
So,
if you've got traffic, you should be fine. Whether I don't, will they get rid of the whole program? I don't think so. I think it's still valuable to a certain degree.
right. I think so
Then,
too. And I think if everyone was able to, like, if everyone lost that revenue that is an affiliate, then we would be trying to figure out something else to do. And that probably would be bad. It's probably a small percentage, but it's probably enough money where Amazon does care. So,
mm, I think they would notice. I mean, looking at I mean, they don't pay out a big commission, but in terms of the revenue that I've generated them, it's hundreds of thousands, and that's just me.
yep.
Whether they'd have got that revenue anyway, I guess that's what they think every time. They think, well, they'd have bought it from us anyway, regardless of whether this guy linked to us. But, even if I linked to Walmart or somewhere, then Amazon are probably, that kind of egotistical that they would think that they'd buy it from us anyway. But I don't know. If all the affiliates started promoting other sites, then who knows? I think Amazon would notice it. I mean, I don't think the affiliates program's going anywhere. I don't know. That obviously depends on different countries. I mean, interestingly, my current site, the Wheelbarrow one, I've decided to go for the UK niche, to a UK market because, well, A, I'm in the UK, and there's less competition, and Amazon still pay pretty good rates in the UK. They didn't adjust the commission rates, back when they adjusted the .com rates.
Yeah, there you go.
So, there's always other options. There's other regions. There's other things. But yeah, as long as you've got a site and as long as you've got traffic, you'll be able to monetize it some way.
Yep.
And that's the thing when you work for yourself, things like that happen. Sometimes the rug gets whipped away from under you, and you have to be able to get yourself back up and carry on.
And quick note, like you're saying, there's other ways to monetize, and I have a course called Multi-Profit Site, where basically I really encourage people from the beginning to look at a niche so that you can monetize with digital products, including courses, maybe that you didn't create, but courses that are out there, and software. Those typically have really high margins, so they can afford to pay affiliates. And if you look at something like, a great example is videography, YouTube, camera gear, and all that stuff, because you need software to process whatever you're working on. There's a ton of gear, really diverse, and you have like just plenty of digital courses to sell too. So
Yeah.
if you think about it that way, at the beginning, like, you have a lot of room to grow. So
Yeah. I mean, when I first started YouTube, I wanted to do affiliate marketing. Amazon wasn't really on my radar. I just wanted to promote WordPress stuff because, as you know, pretty much every WordPress product, Elementor, all of the plugins, all of the themes, all of the hosting, they all have fantastic affiliate programs. So, you've got to remember that my core is WordPress stuff. And, I still earn pretty good revenue from all of those different companies that I've just mentioned. And they all pay way more than Amazon. And, there are plenty of other niches that do have products that aren't Amazon. That you say that are digital products, that are software, that are all sorts of things. So I think Amazon is a great place to start in affiliate marketing. But once you've kind of got your head around content, creating sites, then you can promote many other things from many different companies.
And I think questions would just keep going forever, but we'll just do a couple others. So Benjamin asked, do you guys utilize topical clusters?
What is a topical cluster strategy? Is that like siloing?
Yeah, basically, like, do you publish content that is, in the same topic area and then interlink it? So
I guess I do that anyway because I'm always quite specific with my niche. Like roof boxes is a very specific niche. I could have had a site on just cars.
Yeah.
But generally, I like the specific niches because I find the content writing is easier and it is all very topical. All the articles on that site are about roof boxes, which is a very kind of niche topic in itself. So I guess although I didn't maybe consciously plan to do topical cluster strategies, I guess I am.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And I mean, like you said, it's so narrow. It's inevitable that that's going to happen.
Yeah. But I guess if you had a site on cars or dogs or whatever, then yeah, you should probably, focus on just spaniels or Labradors or dog exercise or whatever, and kind of get that content in order and all linked together before you move on to something else.
Indeed. All right, Alex, for people that want to like recreate like what you've done as far as your niche site, is there anywhere they can turn? Do you have some resource?
Yeah, just check the YouTube channel. You said the latest video on Wheel Along is up, which is a full-length tutorial. And in fact, I've made it a bit easier now to create the site. I've actually packaged up, which is basically a template based on the Roofbox site. I packaged it all up, and you can have that for free, and you just need to upload it, and it will create the site for you. And it's got templates, and then all you need to do is kind of, add your logo if you want a logo, change the colors, and start adding your content. So yeah, just check out my channel. It's all on there.
Awesome.
And yeah, I've got nothing to sell. I do ask for your email address though, just so I can send you the link. And don't worry, I don't spam anything or anything. I just email and let you know when I'm going on YouTube, really, when I'm streaming.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody check out WP Eagle. If you're listening on the pod and you're maybe not on YouTube as much, do sign up for his email list and just check it out. There are great tutorials. And Alex, I think the last time you were on, like, I made it a point to thank you. I want to thank you again. You let me on your channel when I had something like 1,500 subscribers. You had a much larger channel, and you helped me get started. And I want to thank you. I
Wow, thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah. No, thank you. I mean, yeah, I'm glad your channel's doing well. I mean, you definitely put out more content than me, more videos, and I think you're building a real nice community as well. And that's fun. I see that in the chat there, someone said they read a book. Our Best Gateballs Club read a book called "Who Moved My Cheese," which is a fantastic book about what to do when stuff changes, like when Amazon changed their commission or when stuff. Because some people, I get messages about this all the time when stuff happens, and they kind of it really does knock them and can make people just give up. They just go, oh, it's terrible. Amazon has cut the rates. What's the point of it all? What's the point of it all? I'm not going to do it. And that book can really kind of help you in terms of changing your thinking a little bit, and just seeing that these challenges are just something that you have to deal with, and something that you can deal with, and you'll often come out better afterwards. Because there's another question there about, will Google reduce the rates again? Maybe, but you can't really go much lower than 1% on something. Don't know. They haven't got a lot more room to move in, have they?
Amazon's definitely trending down, and this one seems to be a little bit. Oh, that is the wrong one. The chat moves so fast. So this one,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to even do with this, but this is Hari. It says, why don't you both admit that YouTube is the only pioneer of affiliate marketing and all internet marketing worldwide? Getting listed well by Google doesn't mean anything anymore. I think I'll respectfully disagree, and I will assume that you've never had anything ranked high in Google, because you could get a shitload of traffic, and if you have the right stuff, then you can make a lot of money. So I am not sure that why you're asking that, but it doesn't quite add up. So Alex, any thoughts on that?
YouTube is a great way to do affiliate marketing. Of course it is, but it's not easy. Nowhere near easy. I mean, creating videos and all that stuff is not easy. And if you look at both mine and Doug's channel and go back, like we're saying, look at some of the early videos, you'll see that it's not easy and that they're terrible, and it takes a while to get any momentum and get anywhere with it. I don't agree that it's the only way, and I don't agree with that Google listings don't pay. And if you take a look at my recent videos, as I say, I share everything on my channel. Best Roof Box is earning over $1,000 a month. The majority of its traffic is coming from Google. And I've already explained how I did the keyword research. I've not done hardly any link building. There's nothing fancy going on there. So it works. And, I'm not the only one who's showing it. There's other people on YouTube and yourself that have got, plenty of case studies where Google works just fine. And it's, to be fair, it's easier than YouTube, I think, because, you can pay writers. You can write your own articles. I think writing an article is probably easier than creating a video for most people.
Yeah, and I think that could have just been Adrian trolling us from his other account there. So shout out to Hasta La Vista Boss. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's not Adrian. But all right, Alex, this has been a pleasure. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
and have a good night there. Everyone, thanks for hopping on. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Alex's channel, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me, Doug. It's been great fun.